I've never used these exact words to open a video, but I will now. I have a public service announcement to share with you. The announcement has to deal with your pitching. It has to deal with how you throw a baseball and softball. If you're a baseball coach, if you're a baseball parent, baseball and softball players, please listen very carefully to what I'm about to tell you. Starting today, you need to change how you throw a ball. Most of you are throwing a ball in the same fashion as if though you're throwing a pie at someone's face. Henceforth, in the remaining part of this video, when you hear me say they're a pie thrower, this is what I mean. When you throw a pie at someone's face, you have to get your hand underneath the pie dish, and you got to keep the hand underneath the pie dish, otherwise the pie is going to fall out of your hand. So you see the example of the comedian throwing the pie. And when you watch these coaches or players throw, they're throwing in the same manner as if they're throwing a pie at someone's face, where they have the hand underneath the ball for a longer period of time. When you throw a baseball or throw a softball in the same fashion as though they're going to throw a pie at someone's face, you're putting extra stress on the shoulder area. You're putting extra stress on the elbow. There's a lot of possibilities, a lot of theories why players throw this way. One way they learn how to throw this way is by osmosis. They see their parents, their mom or their father, throwing them batting practice this way, or they see the coach throwing batting practice this way. So this is the throwing action that's actually modeled for them. And sometimes without knowing any better, they just copy what is actually displayed for them. Another theory I have why players throw the ball in the same fashion as you're going to throw a pie in someone's face is because of this. To throw it correctly, you need to create a stretch reflex or elastic energy. And there's extra pressure when you throw correctly placed on the shoulder, and there's extra pressure placed on the elbow. And this becomes good pressure right before you let go of the ball. It's elastic energy, a stretch reflex. Most players, when throwing, shy away from this extra pressure and take the easy way out. You can pick any theory you want to. The bottom line is our players have got to stop throwing the ball like they're throwing a pie. If you choose to ignore this, and if you don't change this, sooner or later, you're going to have a sore arm, or even worse, an injury. But when you look at an elite pitcher or elite thrower, you'll see carefully that they maintain this pressure in these joints. On the basic throwing motion, when you throw properly, you create a lasso with your arm. Watch these examples of these pitchers or throwers throwing the ball. If you watch carefully, there's a lasso effect. There's a figure eight, a letter S, call it whatever you want to. This pitching, this throwing design puts pressure in certain areas of the arm action that actually, when you go to let go of the ball, there's less stress on the arm upon release. And the sooner you learn this, the sooner you're going to avoid more arm injuries for your player, and the sooner you're going to throw faster with more accuracy. So here's the good news. Inside our online training course, Training at Home, I teach you the design of how to lasso your arm correctly. Let me tell you the truth. If you think it's easy to teach this, give it a try and then send me the before and after video. I'm talking from experience because I used to be a pie thrower. And when I met my throwing and pitching mentor, Coach Denny Eskin, he helped me to revolutionize how I look at and how I teach throwing. Denny Eskin grew up in the 60s, and the person who taught him how to throw this was a former Major League player with the Pittsburgh Pirates. This idea of circling the ball or lassoing your arm was taught frequently back in the 50s and the 60s. And it just amazes me in our data-driven pitching culture how many people just ignore this aspect of pitching and throwing. Coach Denny, when he was growing up, threw low to mid-90s. And when you use this circling the ball action or lassoing the arm, your arm feels like a slingshot when it releases the ball. It's a low-effort throwing action that incorporates elastic energy and stretch reflex positions. Check out the link in the description box, and please teach this throwing action today to your baseball and softball players. I'm Dave Kirilloff, languageofhitting.com, in the Kirilloff Baseball School in Anna, Texas.